Alright, welcome back to the channel. Last video of the day. So let's check out the total markets and what is going on in general. So I was going to make a Bitcoin video, but the price action that we've got on Bitcoin is very lackluster. There's not a lot to talk about, so I thought we'd use this opportunity to check out what is going on in the greater markets to see how this will impact Bitcoin. Now, if we start off with the dollar, obviously Bitcoin is inversely correlated to the dollar, so seeing the dollar pump and get continuation is not a good sign. We're having our first correction today in quite some time, in the past week or so. So we really need to hope that the dollar tops out at this point. If the dollar keeps rallying, then the stock market is going to get destroyed, and so is Bitcoin, unfortunately. This is really why you're seeing Bitcoin having this run to the downside recently. I do think the dollar is near topping out. We've previously talked about this triple top theory, but it's getting very, very worrying at this moment in time because, you know, we're now pumping back above, or not quite back above, if I mark the exact top of the previous cycles, because you can see if I mark the second one down, I think we've already moved above the second peak. Yeah, we have. This is what I mean, like we're coming up to the absolute highs of the previous cycle. So if you do see a continuation pump above 103.8, then it could be the nail in the coffin that, you know, Bitcoin needs another 3 to 6 months or so before it can recover. And I wouldn't be surprised, like, there are a lot of people calling for 34,000 to 30,000, 28,000 recently, and I feel like when everyone's calling for it, they're probably going to be wrong. That's just my opinion. The last time I saw this amount of confluence, like this many people saying Bitcoin's going to go to a certain price, everyone is so certain that Bitcoin's going to move down to 28,000 right now. It reminds me exactly of when Bitcoin was here in April 2021, and everyone was saying, you know, 100,000 by the summer. And then it reminds me when we were here in November and we were at 69,000, everyone was saying, okay, 100,000 by December. And then it reminds me when we broke down into your 55,000s and we had a pump back up to 58,000 in December, and all the bulls were saying, okay, moon mission is delayed, we're going to 100k in January. You know, the last time everyone was so confident that Bitcoin was going to move to a certain price, the market said nope, and we did the exact opposite, and we went in the complete opposite direction. So I don't necessarily think that we're going to do what we did before, but I would like to highlight, you know, if you look at what's going on with the Bitcoin trend right now, if we look at this market conditions that we're in, what do you see? Well, I see, you know, you've got a low, you've got a higher low, and currently right now we're putting in a higher low. If we look at the top, you can see we've got highs, we have higher highs, we've got more higher highs, and I do think we could be coming up back to the top of this uptrend to fill another higher high. All I'm trying to say is, at least in this correction, you know, we had a correction, so be it, we bottomed at 32, 33,000, and we've been building up support since then. And a lot of people are saying this looks like 2018, and I come over to 2018, I think we checked this out in the previous video, and you see something very different. You see you've got your all-time high, you've got lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and in terms of the floor, it wasn't so clear because you've got this low down here, and then you've got these lows. So we were moving down, but you know, we weren't moving down like crazy. But here you can see, if we drag this out, this is where you really took out the floor and we made new lows. But up until then, in 2018, we were somewhat keeping the same bottom formation until we did break down, and we also have these lower highs on the top, so we're moving down in a downtrending channel. And the only reason why we weren't making new lows at this point is because we were entering the bear market and people were selling off. Let's go over to total 2 to get the altcoin market cap. If we look at what was going on in the same time for the altcoins, so this is total 2, this is basically the crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. So we can see what our altcoins were doing at this period in time, and you can see the altcoins were making very clear lower lows. And my theory on this is that people were selling their altcoins into Bitcoin, which was keeping the floor price up of Bitcoin, but ultimately everything fell underneath everyone's feet. So there's a few differences there, but I really don't see any similarities to what was going on in our previous bear market setup to what we're currently witnessing right now for Bitcoin. So like I said, you know, we're coming down. I don't think now is the right time to long Bitcoin, to trade it. We are coming down. I imagine we'll be down here at 37,500 within the next couple of hours or so. But yeah, we're pushing down. The general markets are not looking too good. If we come over to the SPX, you can see it has fallen below a very important floor. Bearish momentum is gearing up to the downside. So if we look at the Nasdaq as well, Nasdaq has fallen below this important support. The stock market SPY is coming down to your absolute last line in the sand. This could be a game changer. If the stock market SPY decides to break below 411, it could be very diabolical. Like I said, Facebook is dumping after its quarterly earnings report. Tesla stock is breaking down from the 200-day and this line of support. Coinbase stock is making new lows every day, and you might not care about Coinbase stock. I must admit, I don't really care about it too much in itself, but the point of the matter is, you know, this is the biggest crypto stock in the world, and it is dumping like a rock. It's not a good sign for Bitcoin and the general markets when you see the dollar getting a continuation pump while all these crypto stocks, the crypto market, and the stock market is dumping. So I think it's important every now and then to look at the total crypto or the total market overview, being, you know, the dollar, your stock markets, your top tier blue chip stocks, and then also checking out similarities to what's going on in the market now compared to what's going back on in 2018. So I hope you found this video valuable. Like I said, there's not a lot going on. We're really chopping very, very boringly to the side in this channel. I think we will get out of here by the 3rd or 4th of May, when 3rd or 4th of May, when the Fed meeting is done. But until then, I would definitely be sitting on the sidelines. I personally plan on DCAing Bitcoin around these levels. So after I record this video, I like the price Bitcoin's at, I will be DCAing a small amount. Bear in mind, when I see DCA, Bitcoin is the only project that I hold that I genuinely plan on holding for years and years and years and years. So while Bitcoin could go down to 34,000, I would be completely fine with that. I'd be happy to DCA at that price. Bear in mind, I'm DCAing at this price fully well knowing that we could have a further move to the downside. My thing is with Bitcoin is I believe it's the most valuable cryptocurrency. I believe it's got the biggest value proposition out of any crypto. A lot of people would argue that Ethereum has a bigger value proposition. I disagree in that regard. However, Bitcoin is undisputably, you know, the one that you'd probably want to hold for the long term. A lot of people say Ethereum as well because it's got the network effect. Not that Bitcoin doesn't have a larger network effect than Ethereum, but you know, people are building on top of Ethereum. People aren't building on top of Bitcoin, at least at this moment in time, because Bitcoin hasn't really enabled smart contracts or anything like that yet. But you know, nonetheless, Bitcoin is moving down in this channel. I don't plan on leverage trading until we do get out of here. Like I said, Fed meeting in a couple of days. If the stock market keeps on dumping, then that's probably a sign to stay out of the altcoins. So that's all I've got for you today for the market overview. To wrap up the video, you can see the Bitcoin shorts are skyrocketing at the moment of recording this. So not what we want to see, however, it is what we've got. I would definitely be sitting on the sidelines for the next couple of days while we're waiting for, you know, this while we're waiting for the stock market to reopen. Obviously, it is Saturday today, so the stock market closed yesterday. I am just showing you what happened on the stock market closes. Bear in mind, the stock market is not moving right now. I'm sure a lot of people don't actually realize this, but the stock market doesn't work, or it doesn't trade over the weekends, unlike Bitcoin. But it is interesting to look at the stock market at the end of the week, coming into the weekend, seeing what prices we're at and seeing where we do need to get into in the following week. That's all I've got for you for the market update. I hope you found that useful. As always, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion on the market. And before we wrap up the video, the Discord has finally been made. The link will be in the description. Hope to see you all there. That's all I've got for you today. Cowboy out, not financial advice. And as always, peace.